Republicans in the state assembly passed their first COVID-19 package of the new year Thursday. WisPolitics.com reported the package contains provisions that would give the Joint Finance Committee the power to transfer $100 million to cover COVID-19 costs, allow visitation at long-term care facilities by a designated essential visitor, and create COVID-19 legal liability protection for schools, businesses, and other entities. The state Senate is working on its own legislation. Senators will be back on the floor this week, and we're looking ahead to that session with GOP Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu. So, Senator LeMahieu, thank you for joining us today. So the Assembly just passed COVID legislation, and it sounds like Speaker Vos thought that you would support this, but that's not what happened. So what's the disconnect here?
You know, over the last 2 months, first of all, we started off working with the Speaker and the Governor and myself, trying to find a COVID bill that we could all get behind. Unfortunately, the third week in December, the Governor released his bill that he called a compromise bill, which wasn't a compromise bill. So I continue to work with the Speaker in the process. And, you know, the bill that the Assembly brought forward is a good bill. But what we're looking to do in the Senate is find a bill, and this is our goal all along, is to find the bill that we're confident that the Governor will sign. So that way we can get that bill done for the state of Wisconsin.
And I think people could understand, you know, Republicans not being on the same page with the Democratic governor, but in terms of Republicans being on the same page as fellow Republicans, and how do you go forward?
You know, I think the plan that we're going forward with in the Senate is a great plan. It takes the governor's sort of compromise bill that he released in December and adds one key provision that we thought was important to us. It's the liability protection that was in AB 1. And we think that's vitally important to the state of Wisconsin. There's a group of 80 organizations that support that legislation from all across the board, from the Wisconsin Association of School Boards to business and manufacturers. And the reason that one provision is so important is it protects nonprofits, churches, small businesses, employers all around the state, all different entities from frivolous lawsuits, gives them that liability protection they need under COVID.
And there are a lot of different views there on that liability, and we've talked about that a lot on this program. But I guess what I'm curious about now going forward is, do you think that that's something you could get the governor behind?
We've been reaching out to the governor's office and working with him the last couple days, and we feel that we're really close. And we're confident that since we're taking, you know, the bill that we're going to send back over to the Assembly has 27 provisions in it. 18 of those provisions were in Act 185 last year, which had bipartisan support. And we're confident that the bill that we send will get the signature of the governor, and we're hoping that it gets bipartisan support on the Senate floor on Tuesday.
And when you say really close, what can you tell us? How close specifically, considering it's been 9 months since Republicans passed COVID legislation? So I think people want to know more about what close means.
Hopefully we can get it done next week.
And I think one thing that people are also really concerned about is the vaccine rollout here in Wisconsin. You know, we've reported that it's been slower than other Midwest states and slower than potentially expected. I spoke with UW System President Tommy Thompson the other day. He said he would like for the UW system to be really involved in this. He even told me that he thought if companies could get them the vaccine, and that if the state signed off on it, they could get everyone vaccinated in the state of Wisconsin by the end of March, early April. That would be a huge task. Is that something you're in favor of?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic if we could get that done. It's been very disappointing with the way DHS has rolled out the vaccine in the state of Wisconsin. Being number 10 out of 12 Midwestern states is frankly unacceptable at this point. So anything we can do to help out in that process would be fantastic.
And have you talked with him at all, or any of your staff members, or even the governor, about that potential option of using UW?
The provision is in the bill to grant credit to the UW and to the Wisconsin Technical College system. And I've spoken with Governor Thompson in the past about his ideas.
Okay, Senator LeMahieu, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, a milestone in state COVID testing.